John, how does it look now?
You're an intermission.
No, give it a sec.
Oh, there you go.
Are we still as fuzzy?
You guys look grainy. Like
Grainy now.
fuzzy, grainy.
I have no idea.
Hold on.
Maybe check the focus. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's alright.
The problem occurs when lots of pixels are changing color constantly. You can see it's pretty clearly in FPS, blah blah blah.
Is the focus right in the camera?
Let's take a look.
Does the preview there look fine?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not the camera then. If the preview looks fine, like the preview on Streamlabs.
Yeah. Okay. Let me recommended bit rate for streaming. Here we're pushing 8K. We're pushing for.
Do you guys have filters on or something?
Pardon?
You guys have filters on or something?
No, we don't have filters on.
When was the last time you restarted the PC?
Just last week.
The streaming PC?
Yes.
Well, I mean, things might be just running slow. I don't know. I have no idea. Was it this grainy the last time we did it?
No, it wasn't. The last time we streamed was 3 weeks ago. Internet connection. Three to 8 megabytes upload available.
We'll check our upload.
I'll check our upload.
Why don't you check the upload on the main PC? Why do you have to check the upload?
Because this is connected directly through.
Sure.
This is
That's fine.
our main PC is not
Yeah, that's
is connecting
fine.
through another
That's
router. So, speedtest.net. Download is fine, but we're looking for upload. And we're near the 100s. Yeah, we have an excessive amount of upload. John, are we still grainy and pixelated?
It's gotten better.
It's gone better?
Yeah.
You can play it there.
How so?
It's a little less grainy.
Do you see?
I don't see any grainy.
I don't
but
see any.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
There's slight graininess over here, but like.
I mean, we haven't been moving much at all.
Hmm. I think it's fine for now. I'll fix it later then. Yeah, I'll fix it later. I think at the moment it's fine as it is.
You seem frustrated.
Yeah, because
Pull up the chat.
improve. Honestly, it's good enough. He
Says
says.
who?
Says picking chunks or.
I
chat.
I can't see the names. So
Yeah,
like
my bad.
You say you're bad. I'm just saying it's the nature of just me not being able to see the names.
Yeah. Let me move over here.
It's not your fault.
Better.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Well, now what?
What do you want to talk about?
I can talk about anything and everything. Once again, if you let me decide the discussion and we're not going to go anywhere productive.
Oh, okay. So, John, how's your week? How's your days since we last met?
About the same.
About the same?
I mean, didn't I see you like 2 days ago, yesterday, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you
2 days
eating,
ago?
man?
Say again?
What were you eating?
Oh, I told you.
You don't like soup.
I was eating pho.
Man, what do I say here?
What?
How do I would like to know what you expect of this thing.
Of what?
Of this whole experience that we're doing now, like with John and the stream, and because
What do you mean?
It's just so different from what I have in my mind. I say different. I don't even know what you
did you?
envision this.
Why am I certainly a target of this? Wait, what happened?
Well, I'm not saying you're a
a
target of this.
John.
I'm just saying. Well, I mean, you could also chime in too with what you deem this sort of discussion or this experience supposed to be, because I don't. It doesn't compare to what I think it's going to be. That's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a fact.
It's just a thing.
Yeah. I would like to hear what you think whole experience is going to be. What you envision it as. Either of you can.
What I actually envisioned was it's more of a talk show about specific niche, but with you prompting to say no, we're just doing placeholder. Like it could be about anything, or we talk about anything.
No, that's not what I suggested at all. Where did you interpret that? I'd love to hear where you interpret that from.
When I suggested I wanted to find a specific thing for the podcast or for this thing that we're creating.
Okay, so
when I brought up the suggestion that I wanted to bring this back, this podcast back, I suggested I kind of want to like narrow down a specific niche so it'll be much more easier for me to talk or create content.
Yeah, and when did I shut you down?
Yeah.
When was this?
Well, it's not more a shutdown. You suggested no. I think it's better for us to go for a free format
and I said that verbatim.
Yes.
No.
Not like word for word.
But that's not the idea I'm trying to get across. I feel like a lot of the times not you specifically, but my message oftentimes gets interpreted in ways that I'm not wishing it to be conveyed.
Okay. Yeah, that does happen a lot.
What I'm saying is, currently the way the podcast works, currently the way the dynamic that the three of us work is exactly that. It's just prose.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But that's how it is.
Yeah.
It's up to you to decide whether or not that's what you want.
Okay. Because like 4 weeks ago, last month, it was totally different.
I don't necessarily recall. You're gonna have to jog my memory on that.
Like last month when I suggested this, I wanted to go into a specific route. Like I wanted to find like specific topics or specific, not topics, but like a niche for it. But you were suggesting something completely different.
Maybe what you thought I was suggesting something different was more so me saying, just do whatever, see what sticks, throw whatever against the wall, see whatever ideas work.
Okay.
And if it works, then that's great, play off of that. But if it doesn't work, move on to something else. Maybe that's what I was trying to suggest. At no point in time is it ever my agenda to actively shut down your ideas.
Yeah, but I can never figure out what does your statement means. If you haven't realized it, a lot of the times I keep asking, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by this statement?
But you didn't say it in that regard, did you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well then I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm terrible when it comes to like memory. I'm terrible when it comes to long memory. I don't know exactly what the circumstances were then.
Yeah.
Maybe I was frustrated. Maybe I was not in a good mood. Maybe I just had a vendetta against something. I have no idea.
And it's also partially my fault for misinterpreting, because like I thought I understand your statement at that time, and so it's
like this is one thing that I fail constantly. I fail constantly to convey to people that I expect the best. I expect the best and the good out of you. I do not expect the worst.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hinder you in any sort of way or fashion.
Yeah,
but then
yeah,
you'll say that you've interpreted a statement that would suggest that I'm trying to hinder you. Or that I've shut you down. I said that your idea was wrong. I don't see how that is that not contrary to what my intentions are?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing wrong in my conveying to people?
I don't really know, because all the suggestions I would give you, you hate.
Well, hate is such a strong word.
Okay, all the things I suggest, you would disagree to do it.
It's not necessarily that I disagree to do it. It's just we haven't done it to know what the results are.
No. That's not what I'm not talking about the podcast.
Okay.
I'm talking specifically why your statements are being misinterpreted.
So give me an example. Like I can't latch onto something.
Like such as when we were talking about fan fiction at the time, and I said, "Oh, I enjoyed Paragons," and then you just stated, "Oh, that sounds generic."
Okay. It goes back to facts are just there.
Yeah, facts. I'm not saying that the facts are wrong.
Okay, look, what can you remind me what I'm doing? Like, what was the start of that statement? I'm scatterbrained right now because I'm overwhelmed with emotion right now because there's just frustration with me. There's frustration with the stream. It's all compounding to the point where I'm just not sitting straight and processing things thoroughly. So start from the beginning.
Which beginning?
Start from where you said that I why you think that I struggle to convey my intentions of helping people.
Well, we both know that you you assume everything that you're saying is a statement and a factual statement, right?
No.
No.
The things that I make note of, unless I explicitly say this is what I think,
Yeah.
I like to think that those are just facts.
Okay.
Or, yeah, unless I explicitly say this is how I think, or I this thing, or I perceive this thing.
Yeah. But during those moments, you like to think on the spot, right?
Yeah. That's how I would think.
Yeah, and as such, you don't filter what you're about to say to another individual or to a person.
Sure.
And you not filtering it, you're leaving that statement up to interpretations.
And interpretation as to why, how.
You're not intentionally trying to alter your statement so that it has a more or less bias to certain bias to certain.
Isn't it better that way? Otherwise I come off as manipulative
Yes.
when I'm constantly tailoring my responses so I can like specifically poke and prod a particular response out of you.
Yeah.
Because that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is something not manufactured, not engineered.
Then you're gonna, from me, you're gonna expect a lot of misinterpretation of it.
Man. Does this happen with you too? I think this happens with John also, right? It's John.
What?
John.
Have you been listening to
Yes.
what we were saying this whole time, or have you been glossing over?
No, I've been finishing up my plate. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Because look, I'm not saying that your statements leaving out for to be interpreted as any way is a bad thing.
Yeah, I know that's the case, but I mean that nonetheless.
But if you're expecting a good reaction from an individual,
I'm not expecting a good reaction. I'm expecting a reaction.
Yeah. Then,
But more often than not, it ends up being negative.
yeah.
And I think once again it comes down to
How the individual interpreted it.
no, you expect the worst. You think that I expect the worst of you. You think that I don't respect your opinions.
No. I respect your opinion way too much to the point where
Yeah, you think I don't value your opinions. You think I don't respect your opinions. But like I said, if that was the case, I wouldn't even be talking. If that was the case, I wouldn't be even prodding. Like, I oftentimes find myself so confused as to why people are constantly looking at the subtext of things rather than looking at the function of the thing. We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
It's like compliments.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy compliments.
Yeah.
I love handing them out because it's just a fact. I hand out facts. Oh, you have great eyebrows. They're very discernible.
But then you shouldn't be calling them compliments then.
For me,
You shouldn't be calling
other people perceive what I say to them as compliments,
Yes.
but I'm stating a fact.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's not wrong.
Yeah.
But the issue therein lies that it is the words that is being perceived as valuable and not the action of giving the thing.
Yeah.
Or, like, do you understand where I'm coming from?
I understand where you're coming from, and I do that a lot. As in, I take the words rather than the action.
Which is puzzling to me.
Why is it puzzling?
Do actions not feel more valuable?
What actions are we looking for? That's my question.
Time spent. Attention. Arguably, attention is the most valuable thing right now. The attention economy. If someone's willing to sit down with me and just talk, I think the wonders of them. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you know you're not wrong.
So why is it that I guess this goes for you too, John, is like why is it that you guys don't necessarily value your attention as much when you dote on a particular subject? Go ahead. I don't know what you said.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Why is it that you don't necessarily value your attention as much as you would value like words or hearing compliments?
I think with you, Ejek, I'm already spending a lot of time with you.
Yeah.
And as such,
You just
that value time started to diminish until like I'm looking for like.
Or you think that the time that I spent with you is an obligation rather than it being a choice?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I'm just interjecting because
I've done tons of times where I completely disregard or like not. I think disregard is a bad word in that sense, but wanted my own time. As in, like you said you wanted to hang out with me, or like we should talk. There are times where I said no, I'm not in the mood for that. Or
okay,
right?
Yeah. What about that?
What I'm saying is, can't really put into words, but not really sure. I kind of lost it.
Okay,
okay,
here's a good place to jump off of.
What?
I may be completely missing the point,
Yeah.
but is there merit to hearing words?
Yeah, I like to say so.
Like just taking the words as they are?
What do you mean taking the words as they are?
Because, like I said earlier, the reason why I'm so skeptical of hearing compliments or hearing words is because I know for a fact that if I want to gauge a response or manipulate someone, I can engineer said words, I can engineer said sentences and phrases and frame the conversation in such a way that I'm projecting a persona that's not truly me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so skeptical of everybody whenever they tell nice things to me or whenever they tell me these things or that things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could easily just be doing the same thing to them. And manipulating them.
So what you're getting at
is that I prefer the unfiltered, blunt, factual, this is the thing, and then hope to get a reaction out of them.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not saying that it's wrong. Yeah.
No, I know you're not saying that I'm wrong. Yeah. I know that you're not saying that. But at the same time, it's like, am I just being completely paranoid? Is this not justified? Am I expecting the worst out of people by thinking that they're manipulating me?
I think you're expecting the worst for thinking that they are manipulating you.
Yeah, for sure. But, like,
if people are giving compliments to you, then you're saying that you can do the same thing manipulative, then you're expecting the worst from people, from those
Yeah, because generally speaking, if they truly cared, they would go out of their way to meet me halfway.
which is like putting attention and time with you, and
Yes. Instead of just dropping sweet nothings, quite literally to me, that I don't value them, so they end up being nothings. John said something up there.
I think attention is overarching passive moment, while something like hearing compliment is more of an active moment, because the one saying the compliment is actually saying said compliment, while the one receiving is actually receiving the compliment.
That's true. That attention tends to be more temporal and passive, and that really most people don't have a good sense of it at all.
Barely anybody have a sense of it at all.
And that it's far more easier and more tangible to hold words and hear words.
I think this is my train of thought was, I think the words helps affirm that you put attention to it.
But see, that's where the duplicitous nature of it comes in. Because for me, those words come up on the fly.
Yeah.
So it's effortless for me.
It's
so
effortless.
I don't give them much. I don't give them much
It's
value
for you, but like it's pretty difficult for a lot of people.
Sorry, John. What were you saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. What are you saying?
John.
Hello.
Hello.
What?
Were you speaking?
No, I was just thinking out loud.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's why people
Like I was saying what I was typing, kind of thing.
Ah, okay.
Did you read?
That's why people acknowledge the compliment while not giving a lot of thought regarding the moment spent together. Yeah, I mean, like right now I'm thinking, how do I mend the situation? How is it that I can put myself in a particular mindset that makes me understand that words have merit?
That your words have merit, or does other people's words have merit? Or both? Both ways.
Is there an exercise that I can do? Is this just something of presence of mind, like I have to consciously think about? Like,
well, if you're doing an exercise, what do you mean by exercise?
like how do I fix the problem that I have of me having this natural bias to not internalize what people say because I quite literally think it's duplicitous? They're like easily replicatable, therefore it's like deceiving.
I think you have to take the compliment and put it into context. Think about the context that compliment is trying to.
But I'm constantly doing that, and that's part of the reason where my paranoia stems from. You're saying, oh, the context. Okay, so, but I'm giving it far too much context, because then I don't have all the information in the situation. Therefore, I suspect people of manipulating me. Because I start modeling, oh, she might actually believe this thing, or she might actually is trying to gauge a reaction out of me, or she might actually be... Does that make sense?
Well, like how big is this context is?
It goes as much time as I can spend my time thinking about it.
So you're already skeptical about compliments that's being dished out from other people?
Yeah.
And the reason being is because you know for the fact you start thinking of subtext in it.
Yeah, that there's multiple subtexts to everything.
even though you yourself you don't like subtext whatsoever.
So I try to avoid
it.
compliments, and you say
Yeah.
you say
I'm just saying out my thoughts. 'Cause
No, but I'm saying
I was about to make the argument about the subtext, but then I'm just following the root of your logic, and it makes sense why you don't like subtext.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to gauge how big is this context is.
Like, let's take for example, Tita Wilma, complimenting me on, like the my capacity to think problems through.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly thinking about, is it her background? Is it the fact that she works at a place in where nepotism really helps her position out, having extra contacts? Is she just buttering me up so that she can have more people to contact with me? Is this just so that she can have entertainment? Is this she genuinely believes this sort of thing? The list continues on and on.
But I think I think you're thinking way too much of the individual and think about, what do I think about that individual?
It's always tentative.
What do you mean by tentative?
What I think of people, because they're always incomplete pictures.
Yeah, but do you respect that individual? Do you put that person in high regard? Do you?
No, none of that.
Do you trust their opinions?
Do I trust of the source of which the opinion came from? No. Do I look at the opinion and think about what the opinion like holds and whether or not it has merit on its own? Yes. Those are independent.
But that said person gave you that opinion.
So, I could get that exact same opinion from another person. Hence why I look at the opinion independently of said individual.
Okay. So are you saying that you don't trust anybody?
Unless trust doesn't come in the form of words for me, of what people say to me.
Okay.
Trust comes in the form of if they spent time.
Okay.
If they have actions.
So the fact that Tita Wilma spent time with you and was willing to listen to all your opinions, and not only entertain but give you other opinions that you never really thought about. Why is it that you're skeptical about it still?
Because that happens. That's a once in a blue moon thing. It's not a consistent thing. Like I said, there's not enough evidence to suggest that this is a trend. It could be a one-off thing.
Yes, but
an outlier.
Yeah, but even such outlier, you yourself have to look for those, and then gauge whether or not you should take said compliment.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that.
As in, you're the fact that Tita Wilma is such an outlier that you should be taking her compliment like. I'm not saying it with much more weight, but it sounds more genuine.
Like I should internalize it.
Yes.
I don't know. Like I the more we talk about this, the more we talk about situations, the more we talk about my perceptions.
Yeah.
And the lack of understanding of others people's perceptions. It seems to me that the root of my problem is constantly Dunning-Kruger.
That you think everybody is.
I think everybody has more knowledge and is more knowledgeable than I am, because I'm not claiming to know a lot, but out of all of the many complex things that I've seen,
yeah,
there's far more to be had. And that's probably.
But aren't you generalizing it?
Most people, yeah, quite literally, that's Dunning-Kruger.
But you don't like overgeneralizing things.
It's not about the generalization here is to suggest that most people have information that I do not have.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the generalization.
Mm-hmm.
John said, "Nah, dog. Most people are dumb as fuck," and that's what I mean by I expect the best out of people. I constantly think that most people are complex and most people have.
Yeah. And the consequence of that is the fact that you're expecting the best out of people.
Suddenly, people don't feel up to par with the expectations.
Yeah. Because now that expectation feels really high. Because nobody really feels like they can reach expectations. No, that's not what I meant. Not a lot of people will receive such high expectations on themselves. On an individual put high expectation on themselves.
What do you mean? I'm struggling to comprehend what you just said. Not because of, I don't know, I might have spaced out. Go ahead, say it again.
What I'm trying to say is, in a regular conversation or a regular like group meeting or talking or hangout, people are they feel unexpected when such high expectation are being placed on top of them in such a casual environment.
And to that I say, it's like, why is the only expectation I have of people is to be themselves.
But people don't really know that.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't.
That's what I mean when I say I expect the best out of people.
Yeah.
I expect them just to be themselves.
Yeah, but the best.
But then we come into But then we come into the problem of, okay, what does Edric perceive me to be? I'll try to fit into that role. That happens with you all the time.
Yeah.
Where you think I perceive you a particular way, and then you try to fit all of your answers or all of your qualities or all of your actions within that role.
Because you're expecting the best.
But the best out of someone for me is just themselves.
Then you should just say, I'm expecting to be yourself. That's it. I'm not. That's all I want. That's instead of the best, because the best is such a general word. Like it is such a generic word that can be interpreted in many ways.
Yeah, I know.
It could be
the way I'm perceiving the best in this regard. The best of you can be is because there's literally no other person that can be you.
Yeah. And so you should then throw the best out and just say, I'm expecting to be yourself.
Okay. Let me say that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that fixes the problem.
Yeah, it doesn't really fix the problem. But it's a point. Like,
no, I understand. We can move past that. That I've acknowledged. I've conceded that that is a mistake in terms of clarity.
No, I'm just thinking about all the statements you have like in the past, and I'm trying to figure out do they have a general word in it, like a generic word in it.
I don't know.
Because
I'm the worst person when it comes to recalling.
Yeah, you are. So but like,
don't ask me.
Because we had this conversation before that you don't like generalism, right? You don't like
generalizations.
Generalization, but going back from our last statement, you said you're expecting the best.
Yeah, which is I expect like most people to just be themselves. that would be the best versions of
but
themselves.
that's a version of best. Another version of best is I'm trying to meet your expectations.
Yeah, sure.
And their interpretation of meet your expectation is to fit a role.
Yeah.
And
I
such,
understand that.
that word best is, that statement you have is really generalizing it.
Sure. Because it was misinterpreted. That's not necessarily that was not the intention that I wanted behind that word.
Yeah.
The intention that I wanted was to be the thing that you can be, that no one else can be, which is literally you.
Yeah. And so I'm just thinking through statements before that have fallen into that trap.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that pretty much every single conflict that you have with me comes from the fact that you think I have a preconceived notion of what you are.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Like, that's the root.
That's the root.
And that's not the case.
And I'm starting to understand this because it's not only the reason why I have this preconceived notion. This preconceived notion developed because I don't really understand what you're asking, so I have assumptions.
Like, look at... Yeah, you're correct in saying that. And I'm saying, why don't you explain those assumptions to me? Like, look at just this podcast alone. Literally the conflict of which you thought I was shutting you down because you wanted to narrow our niche to the point where you figured out and we know all the dynamics.
Yeah.
Like, you thought there was a preconceived notion that I had of you, and then you had those assumptions, and then you just didn't tell me those assumptions.
Because I was trying to fill those
preconceived notions.
Yeah, preconceived notions. Because I thought those were the expectations you had.
I don't have any expectations of
you,
dude.
Yeah. And there was no vibe saying that. So I
know you're correct in saying that there's no vibe that you sense, because I constantly think I'm giving out vibes or I'm giving up sensorial stimulus that would encourage me to do something.
Yeah.
But then I fail to realize that other people need different sorts of encouragement.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gradually changing it. Like my thoughts and
I'm trying to figure out how can I improve myself in that regard. Concerning sending messages that other people can understand. But I personally, I feel like I don't have the tools to be able to do that. I
myself, most of the time, I'm just jumping the boat. So I need to keep telling myself I need to slow down and think what are you saying about it. And if I'm genuinely confused, I should just straight up just ask you.
Yeah. Or if you feel like I offended you somehow, then just ask me.
Yeah, just straight up just tell you, dude, I just feel offended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as much as I want to improve, like I don't want to say a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
As much as I want to improve on being able to send messages to people that they can understand within their own framework or within their own perceptions, I fail to model other people's perceptions. Like, I physically cannot do it. Which is why I don't like giving gifts. I don't know what people like.
Because
I can't
model an person.
Yeah, I can't model what you enjoy. Because I don't have your perceptions. Which is why it's always surprising to me when mom can get things that I will completely enjoy. Or you'll understand there's this particular thing that I will completely enjoy.
Because I can model your perceptions.
Yes, exactly.
Why is it that you can't model my perceptions? Or mom's perception? Or dad's perceptions? Or even John's perceptions?
There's too many variables at play.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I might know. Also, remember how we talked about math and reductionists?
Yeah. Complex irreducibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said it yourself right there. It's just so complex.
Yeah.
You take it as a whole.
Yeah, there's too many variables.
Or I think a lot of people can easily just reduce it down to certain things.
Sure. But you also have to understand that I play by very simple functions and play by very, very simple rules.
Yeah.
Which is why it's very easy to model my perceptions.
Yeah.
I'm a very simple book. It's not that hard to read me.
Yeah.
But if I compare myself to you, you literally have multiple personas in multiple areas of your life.
Yeah.
And I just don't comprehend why that's the case. I do comprehend. I understand why you feel the need to have that.
Yeah.
Because society benefits. You benefit from, like, to be honest, this is why I'm not productive in society. This is why I'm an outcast. This is why I'm an outlier. Yeah. It's because I don't have the ability to compartmentalize in such a fashion that would lead you to be successful in a social setting.
Yeah. And that's why you find general people so complex.
Yeah, like regular people. Is that what you mean by general?
Yeah,
like conventional
people.
Socially conventional people.
Yes. Are so complex.
I find them very complex.
They're constantly shifting and interacting.
Based on the context.
Yeah.
I literally operate on one function.
Yeah.
No matter the context.
Yeah.
It's just easier to live life that way. It's minimum effort. I don't need to change myself for anybody. I don't need to do anything for anybody. It's just, I have this one particular function. This is another reason why I find it very difficult to help people in their problems. Mm-hmm. Like, you were trying to problem solve stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, I can problem solve and troubleshoot most of those problems. But the moment I open my mouth, suddenly it seems like everything you're doing is wrong, when that's not the case. Just because my way is more efficient or faster, particularly solving a problem, doesn't mean that it's the most efficient way for you to internalize the solution.
Yeah, because I start questioning it.
Yes.
And then I start incorporating it, like
you start doubting everything you start doing. When in reality, what you're doing is completely fine and helps you internalize the lesson to the point where you can remember that lesson in the future and you don't need to remodel everything over again. I remodel everything over and over again when I encounter problems.
Okay. Is that not tiring?
For me, no. That's the only way I know how to do things. For you, that's extremely tiring.
Oh, yeah, extremely tiring.
The way you like to deal with solutions is you remember on the past experience that you encountered a similar problem, and you just implement said solution.
Yeah.
I don't get the opportunity to remember that
said problem.
Yeah,
said
the
solution.
Past problem, the said solution.
Yeah.
I remodel on the spot. So, which is why I'm very good at picking things up super fast.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to be the type of guy to master a particular skill.
So why is it that I too can also pick up skills pretty fast? Not as fast as you are, but like...
Because you've internalized some of the things that I've done. I rub off onto you.
No, but I had that same trait as a very young age also.
Not when it comes to literature.
No, yeah, not with literature, because nobody really taught me about literature.
Okay.
But like, say, with math, science, even just mechanical things with Dad, or...
Those things you have an innate intuition for.
What do you mean by that? In intuition? Like,
You have an affinity
yeah.
for smaller, blocky, chunky processes. If it's orderly in such a fashion,
Yeah.
and it's analytical,
Yeah.
and it's observe this thing. Okay, now observe this thing go through this process. Okay, what's the outcome? Observe this thing go through this process. Now what's the outcome?
Okay.
You have an affinity for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like John's right. From the things I hear, Goose sounds like a min-max jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And it's not by choice. I didn't do this on purpose.
Yeah.
It just happens that those are the tools I was given. Sounds ironic since you like hyper-specific things. No, but it's a consequence of liking those hyper-specific nuances that makes me pick up things super quick, but then I get tired of them and I don't automate any of those responses, and I have to remodel them every single time I find myself in that situation. So I never end up mastering anything.
Johnny said something?
No, I was just stretching.
Like all of the things you mentioned that you pick up fast
Yeah.
are very similar in the way
Right.
that they the approach of the thing. You have an affinity for that particular approach.
Yeah.
It's quite literally a programming approach.
Yeah, it
it's
is
like
literally.
apply program, iterate. Apply program, iterate.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that.
Apply function, iterate.
Yeah.
Like that's yeah. But then you see me, and I'll be like in front of like during the volunteering of the arts thing.
Yeah.
They'll suddenly put me in front of a piece of art that I've never seen before, and I'll make it seem like I'm an undergrad when it comes to arts.
Yeah.
And people will be asking, "Are you majoring in art?" And I'll be like, "No, I'm a dropout." And then you put me in another piece of art, I'll do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're wildly different mediums. One's an auditory medium, and the other's a visual medium.
Huh. So, where we're getting at? Like, I'm a bit lost here now.
This is all, like, long story short, what I'm trying to say is I find it very difficult, even though I want to improve, I find it very difficult to be able to send messages and communicate with people in their specific language.
Mm-hmm. In their specific language, as in their interpretation of the
yeah, like when it comes to compliments, or when it comes to what is this? We're just talking pandens fru. We're not really doing anything in particular. It's just a way of getting verbal diarrhea in the air so that you know, our bowels are nice and clean. But yeah, like what was I talking about? The point of all this.
The point of all this, yeah, and you trying to find
that
solution.
I want to be able to explain to people that that's the case, that I'm awful at signaling to them in such a fashion that would make sense.
Mm.
And that I'm pleading my case to you that can you please forgive me for being so obstinate.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many times I have to tell people I'm obstinate, I'm obtuse. Not on purpose. I'm not trying to be like this.
Yeah.
It's just the case. It
It's-
sounds like an excuse, but I'm trying. Like whenever I try to do otherwise, it doesn't happen.
like no offense, but like it feels like it's a lot of work on our end. If
You don't think it's a lot of work on my end either? You don't think I'm trying to work as hard to convey my intentions to you, to want to help you out? That I seek you out constantly trying to help you?
No, that's not what I meant.
No,
Like,
you're putting value
yeah.
on the, not value. You are saying that it takes a lot of effort in order to deal with me.
No.
Okay, what am I saying?
It takes a lot of effort to, it's not deal with you, but rather understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Just specific, just conversation, like dealing with you.
Yeah.
As an individual, it's pretty simple. Like you have like you said it yourself, it's straightforward, simple.
Yeah.
But when you yourself want to help and be involved, then no offense, sometimes your involvement gets in the way of trying to understand you.
Yeah, no, I get that. Which is why sometimes I just postpone. I just say no, I'm not going to participate because it's going to be
It's
interference.
and that's when we start getting frustrated, because like we want to understand you so we can get a function done.
Yeah. No, literally, those
Yeah.
are all of the arguments I had with our parents too, right?
Yes.
Like they're trying to explain something to me, and I just like, no, just do it this way, just do it this way, and we come to the same outcome. Like it's just
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, sorry. Like I don't mean to shut you down when it comes to the things that you want to do. I just want.
Yeah, you. In most, I still having a hard time doing this. I need to constantly recognize that you genuinely want to help.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
those are just genuine. Expression. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Expression. How long are we going for? That's an hour, and then plus the other half.
Yeah.
John, are you working today?
Yes, he says.
You're working at 3?
Correct.
Correct?
Yeah.
I think this is... John, you can speak in the mic.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know if he's still in the call.
Are you still
just watching the stream? So he knows.
I know. But I need you to do your send out.
Your call of action.
Call of action, John.
Call to action.
John,
Yeah,
where
call to
could
action.
we find you?
Oh god.
You gotta say it in the
I'm gonna
mic.
be resistive this whole time. This
You
is
gotta
like
say yeah, screw.
waterboarding to me.
You gotta say it, John.
Find me on just search my name on the internet. Search my alias, online alias that you see on Twitch on the internet, and you'll find my
What's that alias,
social
John?
media.
What's that alias?
It's rhyflow. We all know because I've been typing here and all that.
Do you have a Twitter account also?
Yep, it's probably the same one.
Do you have an Instagram account?
God.
I have an account that I do nothing
This is
with.
gonna be
It literally
This
gathers,
is gonna be around
cyber
the end.
dust.
This is saying goodbyes is going to be this.
There's be no sense of closure.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm awful at is senses of closure.
Yeah.
It's like cutting off. It's like, okay, here's the end point.
Anything?
I mean, this could be completely rectified by just adding all the links in the doobly doo down below.
It's better for the individual to say it out, because like it's your time to say all your spiel, where we can find you, what you do, all that stuff.
Wouldn't this 3 old dudes talking be the spiel?
Yeah, but I mean,
but like say if said audience wants to figure out, oh hey, I like this, this individual? Where could I find this individual?
It doesn't matter about that. I'm just saying, just get used to being in that process of that mindset. It's like
everything's on the doobly-doo.
It's the final 10 minutes. Hey, my name is so and so. You can find me at
Slim Shady.
So and so. Will the stand up, please? No, I can't do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to do that every time, because every time this happens, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna rant.
Yeah, I mean, once again, all of our links can be slapped on the doobly-doo.
So
it takes.
So what, John?
And watchers
because this is also going to be in audio format.
So
that's true. We'll just have to add that with every episode, so it's
you're
like a one-time
John,
thing.
then.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
doable.
you can find John, also known as rhyflow, at twitch.tv/rhyflow, at Twitter rhyflow. Facebook?
The one on Twitter, unfortunately, rhyflow is taken, so I think it's like rhyflow Games or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
See, there's a difference there. Rhyflow Games, boom.
I feel like I gotta be like
Games.
I feel like if this was to happen, I just need to leave the room. It's like there's no way that this whole call to action thing is gonna work.
Yeah.
Where I'm in the room and I can't but help want to interfere.
Yeah. You can find.
This is you interfering.
Yeah, literally. That's what I mean. Like I can't. I need to leave the space.
You can also find Goose at Augur.
Alternatively, we don't have to do the call to action.
I'm telling you, change the name to Goose.
Yeah, I'll change that to Goose, and then
Goose.
Goose. AGOOSE
with any assortment of spaces or non-spaces or capitalizations, whatever works.
Yeah. Okay. And then you can find me at twitch.tv at Azakan also.
See, look, you automated this response.
Yeah, I did.
You can find me that. What's up, YouTube? Here's a new video.
Once again, just slap all that information on the doobly-doo. It's not difficult.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
All right, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye-bye.